Come on now. I vibe off energy, y'all. I'm going to vibe off some energy, and I'm going to need everybody to give me some of that energy. Please welcome, though, of course, as we celebrate Women's History Month, we're going to be talking about changing the face of sports today. And I'm happy to talk about that, and I'm so happy to have, of course, our panel that is coming up. Before we even get to that, please welcome the woman who has put this together, the woman that we see all over TV. I got a guy that I work with at K104, which, by the way, I didn't say who I am. My name is Dee Dee McGuire. I'm host of Dee Dee in the Morning Heard locally here on K104 here in Dallas. I work with a comedian by the name of J.J. Williamson, who is in love with this next lady. He saw her on TV, and when I tell you, he said, what can I do? Can I vote for her? Can I send in a ballot? I was like, no. He's like, I want her to be the city manager. He kept going, I need her to do this. He was like, can I cheat? I said, no. No, you can't. Anyways, he always talks about what she's done for this city so far. Even as the interim city manager, we knew she was the one. Here to welcome you, everybody, please welcome our city manager, Kimberly Tolbert.
Well, thank you so very much. I had to peel myself out of the city council meeting, so y'all pray for me. The meeting is still going on. But thank you all so very much for being here this morning. As I stand here, I realize that I am proof that the blessings of opportunity are within reach of every single young woman, no matter where they live, no matter what zip code they come from, but every single young woman coming after me. And it is such a pleasure for me to welcome you all here to City Hall as we come together to celebrate Women's History Month. As we talk about trailblazers, and you see, I walked in and I saw that poster of me, I thought, why am I over there on that poster? What I realize is that so many women, and so many women that I see out in the audience right now, you actually paved the way for me. And I'm truly, truly blessed that we can come together, we can celebrate each other, we can continue to advance in how we lead as change makers in our community. I know that my city council member women are coming very soon. They're still in the city council chambers holding it down so I could step away. But I will tell you that they remain on the front lines. They're delivering crucial policies. They're bringing a different voice and a different perspective to the table. And they're ensuring that not only efficiency, but efficacy is maintained in all of our public sector operations. So I cannot do what I do if there were not other strong women sitting around the horseshoe who challenge me and make me better. I want to say a very special thank you to Dee Dee. Let me just tell y'all about this sister. We call at the last minute all the time. And no matter when we call, she answers, she brings a positive energy, and she absolutely loves the city of Dallas. So can y'all give her a round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for pushing all of us to be better. I also want to thank all of the outstanding individuals who you're going to hear from here in just a few minutes, but I want to say a special thank you to my dear friend, Sid Marshall. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Y'all need to get you some real good friends. And she is a real good friend. She is someone who not only has been a force in my life as a woman leader, she's modeled the way. She continues to respond to all my text messages, so thank you so very much. And she is a true champion for Dallas. Cent, we love you, and thank you for being here. Will y'all clap it up for Cent? I learned at an early age, just growing up with my grandmother, that you need women in your life who push you to be better and who really, really help you bring out your best self. And I see so many of those women here in this audience who've helped me. I see my best friend for life, Dr. Cheryl Pallow Williamson. Can y'all give it up for her? And so many others who continue to inspire me. Our journeys and our paths may not be absolutely the same, but we continue to pull for each other. We continue to lift each other up. And so thank you all so very much for the work that you do and how you believe in each other, and you continue to push for others to be their best. This moment is a moment that we recognize the power of women's voices. And we understand that our stories, our contributions, the work that we do in whatever corner of society that you're in your respective communities, your voices matter to us here at the City of Dallas, and we cannot do this work without you. I am so proud that my executive team is made up majority of women. Can y'all give it up for them? And let me tell you, that was intentional. That was intentional. They truly are partners. They come to the table. They don't let me give all the answers to all the questions. They challenge me. They correct me when I'm wrong. And I just want to take an opportunity to recognize them. They didn't know that I was going to do this. I just saw Liz Cedillo Perea. Liz, will you raise your hand? Liz is one of our assistant city managers. Where's Alina? Alina, are you hiding? Y'all come on up here so they can see y'all. They got on this purple. Come on up here by me. Robin Bentley is actually still in the council chambers answering questions. She is one of our assistant city managers. Where is Elizabeth? There's Elizabeth Saab. She forgot the dress code for today. She just does her own thing. Thank you, Elizabeth, for the work that you do. She's our Chief of Strategy, Engagement, and Alignment. And then we have Felice Stafford. Y'all say, don't they look good? Felice Stafford is one of the managers in the city manager's office, and we have Chandler Hill, who serves as the assistant to the city manager. So listen. Oh, and there is one of our council members. Councilwoman Schultz, will you come on up here so they can see you? I told them you were holding it down in the chambers for us. They just adjourned. So rest of the council members hopefully will be here very soon. So I want you to know that these individuals, and there's so many other, truly are women who lead with purpose, they lead with courage, and they lead with heart. And so I'm so honored that I can serve alongside of these brilliant women. They keep us running, they balance in spreadsheets and schedules and solving complex problems. And most importantly, they care deeply about the people of this city. And they bring the quiet sacrifices day in and day out with an unwavering commitment. They put others first. And oftentimes, they put so many individuals in front of their families. So please give them another round of applause. So today is not just about a celebration, it's also about reflection. It's about reflecting how far we've come, but we understand that as women, our work is not done. We're still continuing to have to prove over and over again that we're worthy of the positions that we hold. We have to continue to prove over and over again that we deserve a seat at the table. And so what I want to just remind you today is that as we keep pushing, we can't do it without you. We can't do it without each other. And it will take all of us working in how we pave the way for those other young women coming after us. And so I want to give you again a very special thank you for being here. Thank you so very much for being a part of the Dallas story, both past, present, and the future. Let's enjoy this celebration of sisterhood. I saw some of our council men come in. Today is not about you all, it's about us. But we're so grateful to have you. Can you come on up, Councilmember West? And I see Councilmember Balzadua and Councilmember Resendez. Don't they look good? Y'all really just wanted to come so they could see y'all, right? We cannot do what we do without these great men. And so thank you all so very much for being. I just wanted y'all to see them and just know that they also keep us honest. They challenge us, and they also help make us better. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to our MC, and we're going to continue with the program. Thank you again for being here today. God bless you all.
Clap it up one more time, everybody, for our city manager, of course, Kimberly Tolbert. Now, one of the things I'm going to ask everyone to do, I don't know if you're paying attention, I'm sure you are, but if you look at the sides, when you get a chance, we're going to get a chance to eat, we're going to get a chance to enjoy and to network. One of the things I would encourage you to do is please take a look at some of the pictures that are up here and read what they are saying about some of the incredible women that represented here in our city of Dallas. So that would be great if you would do that. And then also, when you're also taking the pictures, it'd be great for you to actually post on social media. And please just hashtag Women's History Month or Dallas something. We'd love for you guys to just share these women and some of the other stories you're going to hear coming up. That'd be really, really great. We also will have some food now. We're going to take some time. We can get a chance to network, mingle a little bit, have some food, and then we'll get a chance to, you'll get a chance to hear some of our panels, okay? All right, let's do that for a second. Uh-oh, pictures. Everybody's saying, let's get pictures.
Hey, lady. You good? You look amazing. Oh, I want one. Hey, come here. Come on. So cute. Make sure you send that to us. Man, you miss it. It's over.
You know I'm pulling for you. Thank you. Okay? I appreciate you. Okay? You got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, pull for me too. Send me a prayer.
Okay, you know I'm always pulling for you guys.
What a beautiful name.
Nice to meet you.
Good to
I'm
meet
in public affairs and crisis comms.
Oh, really?
So this is PR is kind of my world, but more behind the scenes and public leadership.
Wow. Do you do it for the city? No? Okay, fine. I love you. But it's good, Samaji. What a great name. Are you from Dallas?
Oakland, Texas, born and raised.
Nuh-uh. Oak Cliff, that's your hood. Make me think of my husband.
I love everything that you're doing. I was at the event with your I saw you there.
Oh, I just told her, I said, people probably didn't understand my because it was so inside when I said, I ain't gonna let her touch me because she be touching you and make you
Get the
cry.
anointing.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not gonna get up here and cry.
If you know Cheryl, you know.
You know, don't let her touch you and speak to you and speak and you will cry.
Yes.
But yeah, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good to meet you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please grab something to eat, grab you a little bite. We will be starting our panel in just a minute, so if you could, find something to eat, get ready. We will start our panel. We will be starting the program in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you also can take pictures over there at our Women's History Month wall, and please enjoy the band. There you are. You're a busy woman. I'm trying to... I was waiting. Okay, we would need our panelists, please, to come to the stage and take your seats. We are looking for our panelists this morning. Again, City Manager's Office presents the Changing the Face of Sports, everyone. So we got a good treat right now. I think we're gonna have a great conversation. Moderated by the one and only Cent Marshall, everybody, so let's get ready. We need all of our panelists to the stage.
They're in your text message. She sent you a text for the numbers.
Okay. Okay. Felice Stafford, where are you? City Manager, City of Dallas, the City Manager's Office. Nancy Lieberman, Cent Marshall, Christy Amber, Odessa, OJ. Everyone get ready. This is what we are here for, to celebrate Women's History Month. Changing the face of sports. Let's enjoy. Do you have a mic? Mic?
Can you hear me?
Here we go.
Okay, notice I didn't say can you hear me now because I retired from AT&T. And the now is somebody else. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. Yes. Now, for those of you who don't know, the theme for Women's History Month 2025 is Accelerate Action. So look at somebody and say accelerate action. Look at somebody else and say accelerate action. Okay, that means we have to take some action and we have to take it quickly. So I have some remarkable women on the stage with me. And so we're going to get into all of these questions and just, let me give you the categories. And they do not know what I'm going to ask them. So this is so much fun. We're going to talk about challenges. We're going to talk about mentorship and leadership. We will talk about visibility and media and the future of women's sports. One question on government policies. I don't want to talk about that too much in here. Empowerment and advocacy, and just some reflections that you have. Okay, and so they said we have 45 minutes. We will not take the entire 45 minutes, maybe 44 minutes, okay? Because we also want to open it up to any questions that you have. First of all, I don't know if she is still here. She's got a lot going on. Where is my good friend, the city manager of Dallas, the woman in charge? Let's give it up for Kim Tolbert. Yes. And she's already introduced all of our fabulous city council members. Thank you so much for just having this kind of celebration and honoring this month that is designed to focus on us. So let's just jump right in. Nancy, I'm going to start with you. And we're going to start maybe with some of the challenges, okay? So can you share some of the challenges you faced while breaking barriers, because truly you broke barriers in male-dominated sports environments, and how you overcame them?
Well, first, I want to thank everybody and everybody here at City Hall, Kim, for hosting us today, because this is very important that you put all of us sisters together in a room. And, you know, some people, it's how you view things. Like, honestly, there was never a day, and I'm probably the oldest on the panel. Are you older than me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Damn, baby.
I think I am, yes.
No, I feel better about myself.
Oh, no, I got it. 65 ain't never looked this good.
I'm 66.
Okay, well, you are older than me then. Okay, and we look good. Okay, bam.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So when I got here in 1980, okay, do the math. I got here in 1980. Dallas was amazing then, and the growth of what's happened.
Yes.
But when I started growing up in New York City, and I was an athlete from the 60s and 70s, and people were telling me that I'm stupid and dumb and I'd never make anything of myself. Girls don't play, you know, with boys, which, Ms. Lieberman, what's wrong with your daughter? Maybe you need to take her to a psychologist. Why is she hanging out in the park with black people? I was getting in fist fights every day, okay? No joke. You get me signed up. But the concentric circle of who I am, I'm Big Mike on the blind side, and you're not going to hurt my people, okay? But
And
bless
Nancy
your
Lieberman
hearts.
is my friend. That is true.
So I do. I have protective instincts.
Yes.
And so I learned a long time ago, we didn't have Title IX, we didn't have gender equity, we didn't have the WNBA or soccer or football. We didn't have any of those great sports, team sports. And every time I played, I never thought of pressure. I thought of privilege. I thought of the opportunity. Even though I was playing against guys every day and getting my behind waxed, it was okay because they were making me better. So the only difference between really a good day and a bad day is your attitude and your belief.
Yes.
And my mind, you could not alter. Now, you might be bigger, stronger, faster than me, but you know, your heart and your mind, everybody in this room, you can do anything you want to do, but if you don't believe in you, well, why should we believe in you? And that was really, you know, Kobe says that I was the mama mamba, okay? Because when I bite, I hurt, okay? And it's a compliment. And, you know, let me just say this, Cint. Women, we are 100, as of this morning, I did the math, we are 132 years away from financial equality with men. None of you are going to be in this room, none of us. But what are we going to do collectively? On that, women of color are lowest on that totem pole. They make between 58 and 67 cents on the dollar, and that's a bunch of bullshit. Okay?
It is, and we're going to come back and talk about it. We will come back and talk about it. We got a section
it's
on that.
unfair,
It
and
is
it's going
unfair.
to change.
That's right, and it will change. Yes.
Because I'm
Spoken
going
by
to help
the
make
Hall
a change.
of Famer. Okay, I love you, Nancy. Okay, OJ, give the mic to OJ. Give the mic to OJ. OJ, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
You
having me.
blazed so many trails. Okay, so can you share a defining moment when you had to overcome adversity and how that shaped your leadership and approach to empowering women in sports? And talk a little bit about, you know, your journey in sports for those who don't know. OJ.
Yeah, so thank you. Y'all, you know, you talk about how old y'all are, and that's all cute and everything, but I just want to make it very, very clear that I'm sitting up here with my idols. So I don't know about y'all, but in a moment where you get an opportunity to sit up on a stage with somebody you look up to, I've sat on stages in front of all over the world and talk about Cint Marshall. Like, you don't understand. So I'm going to get up and turn around and shout a little bit because I'm up here.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm up here with my idol. So that's the first thing I want to do. But I think really moments of adversity for me as a woman in tackle football, you talk about 1980 being looked at wildly. Today, we are still looked at the same way. How could you? Why would you? So there's so many moments of adversity. But the moment I want to talk about the most, I think, is the moment when I was sitting in an NFL locker room as a coach, and I was the top running back in the world. Nobody knows who we were or who we are or what we've done.
Y'all get that?
But when
Top
you-
running back in the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
But when you build something that you know is your purpose and that it's going to work out, you don't need nobody to tell you it's going to work out. You don't need a billionaire supporting you. When you are building something that you know is going to work out, you put your head down and you build it, right? So this was just a step for me. I was in the NFL. I was doing the Bill Walsh diversity internship, one of the first women to ever be in the NFL as a coach. And I'm sitting there, and Devontae Freeman was about to sign a $48 million contract as the top running back in the NFL. And we weren't very much different in age, and Devontae and I were very close to each other, and that was my moment. That was my turning point of adversity. I had a decision to make. Is the furthest I could go as a woman in football serving in the NFL, being an NFL coach, doing all, is that the furthest I could go? Or could I do this on behalf of women and go as far? And what I walked away from at that time was scary, but what I'm walking into now will make turn your head in terms of the opportunity. So for me, that was the moment of adversity, not what somebody else was asking to do, but the risk that I was willing to take on myself.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, see, y'all didn't know this was going to be interactive. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, how far can you go? Okay, that's what it was about. How far can you go? I'm just having myself a ball. It's something about this retirement thing. I'm just free to do and say what I want to do and say. Okay, Christy, let's talk about the biggest challenge that you faced breaking into the broadcasting world in a male-dominated space.
So this is my 35th year with the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Woo,
My
35.
28th as the sideline reporter, but I grew up in Lake Highlands, and you talk about, OJ, that since your hero, way before the Dallas Wings, Nancy Lieberman was with the Dallas Diamonds, and I
Yes.
used to get you after our Lake Highlands basketball team. We would go watch Nancy at Moody Coliseum. So I'm here with my hero.
Woo!
But
I love this.
so the old Dallas Cowboys practice facility was Forest Lane at Abrams Road. And after mighty Forest Meadow Junior High Charger volleyball practice, walk 2 blocks up and hang out in the parking lot. No security, get autographs and stuff. But flash forward years later, and I'm working at KVIL Radio. We signed a contract with Jerry Jones to become the flagship station for Cowboys Radio. So how did you get into sports broadcasting? Happy accident. I had worked part-time at a radio station. We're now the Cowboys station, and God forbid they hire anybody who knew what they were doing. I was promoted to sports producer. So you'll appreciate this. It's my first day on the job as a sports producer, and I get sent to Valley Ranch in Irving. That's where the Cowboys were practicing then. And it's the same format as now, that you go in the locker room if you want an interview. And it's off season, 2-a-day practice, and towards the end of their period, the lunch hour, which is the interview time, they are changing back into their football pads and stuff. And young Christy with my cassette recorder and my little Marantz recorder, and it's towards the end of the hour, and the men are changing. I'm not married. I don't have a brother. A potentially new visual experience for young Christy. And I'm looking at the floor, and I'm looking at the ceiling, and everywhere but eye level, if you know what I mean. And just at the right or wrong time, depending on your perspective, it's 1990. I turn. It was not Troy Aikman. It was not Daryl Johnston. It was not six-pack abs of Michael Irvin. I swear to God, this is true. It was 330 pounds of Nate Newton, and that was my first day
Oh, my
on the
goodness.
job as a sports reporter. And I knew then, I said, Christy, if you can just hang in, you're going to be on a women in sports panel with Nancy Lieberman. Hang in, sis.
How far can you go? I love it. I love that story. Okay, Amber, talk to us. Talk to us about the challenges so far that you faced in your career and the rise of women's soccer. And I just got to tell you, we love having Dallas Trinity FC right here. If you have not been to a soccer match, you need to get out there. The next home game is April the 2nd. I went to one where they just crushed them 6-0, the #1 team. I said, oh, I got to come back. I'm the good luck charm. Okay, so talk to us.
Please do. Again, thank you for having me here on behalf of Dallas Trinity. Women's pro soccer in the city has been long overdue, and I feel like I can say that as someone who's played across many countries and states in this country. So, yeah, when I was coming out of college, I went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The Women's League previously, WPS, WUSA, had both folded. So I went into my final semester of college with the mentality that I was going to have to go play in Europe if I wanted to play professionally. I actually took a German 101 class to prepare. So I started my career abroad because there wasn't an option to play here in this country. And you're talking about our U.S. women's national team is by far the most successful. We've won 4 World Cups, 4 or 5 Olympics. But there just was never any stability. And then I actually returned, the NWSL started. I returned, played for the Portland Thorns, and I was, on the U.S. women's national team at the time, going into camps, making a play for the 2015 World Cup roster, and I signed my first contract for $15,000. And at the time, I didn't think much of it coming from college, no NIL money. I was just pumped to be playing. But I've been traded 4 times. One time I was aware of it and requested it. 3 times was without my consent. Didn't know about it until it had already happened.
That's kind of going around.
I've constantly played. Actually, my contract with Dallas Trinity is the longest and the most secure contract I will have, and it is my last one.
Yes, let's give it up.
Thank you.
And we're so glad you're here.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the bottom line is we have a long ways to go in terms of pay equity. The reality of my situation, I'm 34 years old. I will be retiring at the end of next season, simply so that I can start a family because maternity policies, 401k, they're pretty much non-existent. So for me to, have the life that I want with my kids, I have to choose to stop playing. So things have improved, don't get me wrong, but we still definitely, like you guys were saying, in every facet of, women in the workforce have a long way to go.
Long way to go. Tell somebody, not done yet. We're not done yet. Thank you. We have a long ways to go. Okay, so let's talk about mentorship and leadership. So Nancy, we know mentorship plays a role in the development of female athletes. Can you share how you've mentored, and I know you've done a lot of this, the next generation of players and coaches, and why that's so important?
I think it's really important because everybody, if you've ever played a sport and you go up to somebody and say, who's your vet? They will tell you, it could be a guy, it could be a gal. My vet was Lucy Harris, the star of the 1976 Olympic team. And everybody needs somebody. And she was just great. I was the youngest player, still the youngest Olympic basketball player ever, male or female. I was 17 at the 76 Olympics in Montreal. And I was a duck out of water. And she was so great to me every single day, coming in, checking on me, making sure I was okay, because I was that young one. So I knew that when I turned pro that it was important for me to reach out to other people, right? Lift when you rise. Make sure you're picking up the phone. Yesterday, I'm far from perfect, but I'm trying to connect with Juju just to make sure she's okay. Good. When Candace Parker tore her ACL 15 years ago in high school, I called ESPN. I said, give me her number. I check in on Caitlin Clark. Paige Beckers and I, we text frequently with one another. Are you okay? How are you doing? Mentorship doesn't have to be, we got the deal done. Mentorship is, how are you? Paige, I'm really proud of you that you have a Muslim teammate and it's Ramadan.
Yes.
And you chose to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning to eat with her, to be with her, to let her know that you care. At the end of the day, whether you're city council, whether you're the mayor, whether whoever we think we are, we're just humans.
Right.
And we want to
hearing
be
that from
loved.
you is special. I mean, it's special.
Loved and cared for. And, like even with you, and our relationship is very special. When I text Sint and she texts me back, it makes me happy.
Yes.
Because we're all busy people.
Yes.
But you made me a priority. And
I'm
you've
watching
been
you on
great with
TV and
me.
I'm like, crush it, sister. Okay, with the heart.
But you give, you and Aaron, you give me, I've had so many great things happen to me in my career. And honestly, I've said this to you for years. I've been in Dallas for 45 years. And the one thing that I haven't done in my career is be a part of the Dallas Mavericks. People pay me a crap load of money to do things all over the world. But how many times were we on an airplane and you were like, we're bringing you home, we're bringing you home. And there's a process, there's a time, and now I'm home. So thank you, Sint.
And you're crushing
Thank
it.
you,
You're
Aaron.
crushing it.
And thank you to Dallas for just caring about me and allowing me to be part of a fantastic community. And we're going to continue to help each other, right?
We need each other.
We all need each other.
We need each other. We need each
Anybody
other.
who's ever been great in the world has never done it by themselves. I need you.
Yes.
And we look different, and we're different ages and ethnicity. Excuse me about that. We're different, but it's okay because we're better together than we are apart.
I love it.
And the greatest thing you can do is to help somebody. Lift when you rise. Take somebody up that doesn't look like you.
I love it. OJ, add to that. Add to that. How do you believe women in sports can support each other? And not just in sports, but in general.
Yeah, I think, I was getting emotional listening to you having to decide to be a mother or be a professional athlete, because I think if more people understood the story that when you choose to be a professional athlete as a woman, you are choosing to not enhance your life for the most part. And I think if you ever thought about it, we think about the professional athletes as the gladiators in the arena, and we think of $1 million. So when you say, I'm becoming a professional athlete, as men become professional athletes, you don't question whether or not it's gonna help them socioeconomically. You go, oh my God, his life's gonna get better. His family's life's gonna get better. But the truth is that the majority study just came out by Parity, 75% of women who play professional sports make net negative dollars, meaning we broke out here. It's the truth, right? No matter what your salary is. And so the idea that you have to choose between financial advancement or being a professional athlete, if you've ever played anything, then you know you're going to choose your sport, and we keep choosing our sport. So I think the one thing that we do is, because girls football, tackle football in particular, isn't being played in high school, it isn't being played in secondary school. Flag football and the growth of flag football is opening up a whole new world for girls, which is amazing. Yes. But there are still so many girls playing with the boys, picking up a football for the first time. Because she plays football, she's being called everything under the sun. And so what we have done is we started Got Her Back Charity. I think that's a way where women's sports can really give back, is create charitable organizations that are in the community. And over 20,000 girls have joined our organization, and basically Got Her Back is intended to show girls who play football that there are women who play football.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
beautiful.
The one thing that I think professional women in sports can do is to show up, like not just on the internet. If you know a little girl's playing, go show her that 15 years later she can still be playing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that.
And
that's
exactly
Add to that, Christy.
in anticipation of the question of mentoring and trying to give back. That's what I've been doing mostly, is volunteering a lot of my time, particularly in the off season. But I want you guys to know that there are 22 teams in the DISD that are part of the inaugural Dallas Cowboys Girl Flag Football Spring League. There are 54 schools in the area. Fort Worth has done it for 3 years, so it's the 4th year overall, but it's the first time that Dallas, Crowley, Arlington, Carrollton Farmers Branch, DeSoto, Cedar Hill, and Duncanville are part of this. And so we just had the Nike gives the jerseys, the uniforms. The Gene and Jerry Jones Family Foundation underwrites it, and we have 2,000 girls participating in North Texas. And I want to share one story about that. I'll make it real quick. This isn't North Texas area, but it will be, it can be. Our goal is to take girls flag football and make it a UIL sanctioned sport throughout the state. A couple years ago, we're at the Coaches High School convention. It's down in Houston, 17,000 people there. We're doing a panel about girls flag football. We got to grow it. Houston Texans, by the way, have Houston ISD participating. So a coach comes up to me afterwards, and she was at a small college in Kansas. She had come there directly from Las Vegas, Nevada. They scout a lot in Vegas and Florida because they've had girls flag football there for a while. She signed a young woman, first generation college, to come to Kansas, Pratt College, with a scholarship. And she says, that friend of yours, your teammate, I didn't see her on film this year. Where is she playing? Oh, she's not. She didn't play this year. She's already graduated. Oh, where is she playing in college? Oh, she's not playing in college? She's not in college? Oh, you say she's working at the Walmart down the street. Do you have contact information for her? Do you mind reaching out? I'll go, it's on the phone. Well, she's working today, but she has a lunch break coming up. Where's the Walmart? You want to go with me? And 45 minutes later, in the aisle at Walmart on a lunch break, that coach had given out 2 scholarships. The one to the girl and the one.
Yes.
So because of Title IX, a lot of colleges are over 50 schools, 50 colleges across the country are using girls flag football to come into compliance, and so it's a growing sport, and NFL is behind it, and so we're trying to provide more scholarship opportunities moving forward.
Love that. Let's give it up for what is happening with the Dallas Cowboys. I love that. So Amber, I know a few months ago I saw a video of you walking a little girl into the Cotton Bowl, into the stadium. It just so happens to be little JoJo White, my little honey. And it was beautiful to see what you all were doing for those little girls. Talk about that moment, and just talk about what the team is doing to pour into this next generation.
To start with, I think the USL Super League, which is the league we're a part of, and Dallas Trinity have done a great job of just providing the academy system. What's unique compared to the NWSL, the other league in the US, is I have 16, 17-year-old teammates that train with us every day, that take the field with us. Some of them have scored goals and contributed massively. But they retain their NCAA eligibility. They'll be going off some already went off to college in January. And so they get the best of both worlds. Growing up, I would have loved that. And so I think our club specifically, there's so much talent, especially at the youth level in Dallas. So really finding the best youth players and providing that professional environment. For me, I'm double their age, and it's just amazing again to see these opportunities that they're being presented with at such a young age. And being in that environment, they can really see what they have ahead of them. And then I think what makes women's soccer players, specifically probably all women's pro athletes, is we are so approachable. After the game, we love going to sign autographs, take photos, answer any questions, because many of us were, those young girls in the stands. I watched the '99 Women's World Cup. I didn't make it to the final, unfortunately, but that was definitely my this is what I want to do. And there was no women's pro league. There was just the national team, but I had no concept of that. I just knew, from 8, 9 years old, this is what I want to do. And so I think to provide that visibility to show, hey, you can do this, and we're in your local community. I didn't have a pro team in my local community, but just to provide that, and again, be a voice, and show them, hey, this is the effort we put on the field. I'll be the first person to tell you, my habits off the field, and my parents always made sure I was a student before I was an athlete. So that's always my biggest, what I advocate. You got to take care of the classroom before you do anything on the pitch. So I think, we're very approachable, very accessible. We don't have big heads. We appreciate everyone, regardless of age in the stands.
You can tell I love watching how you are with the young fans. So let's give it up for Amber. They are walking their talk. And I can appreciate the student athlete piece. I have one of my daughters actually played soccer in college. And it was student first, athlete second. And she loved it, and it was a beautiful thing for her. Actually, it helped her, playing soccer helped her do well in school. Okay, I want to hit this last category, and then I'm going to have a wrap-up question before we turn it into the audience. So I want to talk about visibility and media. So Christy, I'm going to start with you. With the rise of social media and digital platforms and other changes that we're all experiencing with the media, how have you adapted your role as a sports analyst? What do you see as the next major shift in the industry?
Oh, it's going to continue to grow. And sports betting is huge, and so much media is towards that now, which I don't think is for the better, but that's the reality. It's changed everything. And I usually don't tweet or do a lot of Instagram during the game from the sideline, because we want people to listen to the radio.
Right.
I mean, not to brag, but I have it first.
Right.
And so why would people listen to Cowboys radio if I'm, why give, what's it about giving the milk away for free or something like that? Anyway, so I wait to do it. Yeah. You know where I'm going.
I know exactly what you're saying.
But of all of the jobs, that we've added within the Cowboys organization, the social media, I mean, that's where the jobs are. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is you have to be able to work social media. And from a media standpoint, you're a one-man band now, or one-woman band, where you used to have a reporter, a videographer, a producer, and then someone back at the station would direct everything. And now the reporters are shooting, doing their own photography, doing their own that, and doing their own social media. So it's frankly, for an old person like me, it's a little scary that everything is going social media. And that's where my biggest area of growth, I need to continue to improve on that. So those of us who are reluctant to do it, unfortunately, we have to get with the program, because otherwise
you have to surround yourself with
left
people, right? Like Aaron
That's true.
Figo White and that group, and
Yeah.
they'll just they'll just take over your phones and everything.
Yeah,
else.
but really, to answer your question, social media is really driving everything
Yes.
now for a day-to-day basis, not the game broadcasts
Right.
themselves, but the day-to-day aspect.
Awesome, thank you for that. Okay, Nancy, how have you seen the media's coverage of women's sports evolve in general? And what do you think needs to happen for female broadcasters and the female athletes to get more exposure?
Well, back in the day, if you had one or two people, you know, at ESPN or at Fox or wherever, you know, they checked the box.
Right.
And, well, we have our one girl, or we have our one woman of color, or and we've got to get rid of that, okay? It's like I was saying even before, there's Women's History Month, there's, Black History Month. To me, that's code for we're not really interested. Okay? Why can't every day be about Black history? Why can't every day be about women's history and the great women in all vocations of life? So when you're talking about social media right now, you have to prepare yourself for your moment.
Right.
And don't, it drives me crazy when, women go, well, I deserve that. You don't deserve nothing. We have to earn it. Okay? You got to grind just like everybody else.
Put in the work.
Mavs have given me this opportunity, and every day my job is to be better than everybody else that has ever been on your telecast. That's my mentality.
Well, you had a day recently where it was all women. During they did the broadcast, behind the scenes, everything. It was amazing. The results were amazing. Do you think we'll see more of that?
Well, it shouldn't be an aberration. It should be, there were just, 3 women on the set, or with ESPN right now, on the coverage of the NCAA tournament, there's 3 or 4 Black women. What's wrong with that? That's just, they're talented. They're really good. The information is next level. So we have to continue to earn it, but, we have to believe in ourselves, and we have to do the work to take it to another level. Christy said this, it's all about content right now. If you can forge a relationship, like I know it drives people crazy, but if something's happening, the first thing I do is I text Doc Rivers. I text, I don't know if I should say, the Lakers for information. I'm texting people.
You say whatever you want to say. You're a grown woman.
My Rolodex is as long as the North Dallas Tollway. If there's something happening in the NFL, I'm like, Dion, Coach Prime, it's me. It's your girl, Fancy Leaps. Hey, what's going on? Are you trying to... that's what I've done. So my relationships, Christy, you have 100 years of relationships where, you can talk to Ceedee, you can talk to Emmett. I can pick up the phone and call Roger Staubach, or whoever. That's really important that you have these relationships
and
with people and utilize them.
Yes.
And I think the next level is those relationships, but understanding the media playing field is different.
Yes.
They want to know, everybody feels like they should have all access all the time to your brain. And I'm like, you don't get to have that access to me all the time.
Well, no, you can pay for it. Okay.
Right.
Just no.
But it is important to understand where we are and meet people where they are. For older people, that's your oxygen, that phone. You go to the bathroom with it. Raise your hand if you go to the bathroom with your phone. I'm not trying to get in your business. Yes, I am. And we're filming. But I know, right? Guys, gals, don't even look at me like you don't take your phone into the bathroom. Don't make me get up.
Well, we want the phones. We like the phones.
Right.
We like the phones.
Exactly.
We need you to keep the phones. I tell people all the time, turn your phones on, keep the phone, do everything, because I worked for AT&T for 36 years, and chances are my pension is in your hand. So use your phones, okay? Use your phones. Okay, so here's my last question for the panelists, and then I will open it up. So my last question to all of you is, looking back at your time either as a student athlete or early in your career, what advice? So pretend like these are all young athletes out here. So just put your athlete look on out there, okay? Pretend like you're young athletes. What would you tell them? What advice would you give them, just on a variety of matters? It could be about balancing academic with sports. It could be about the future, never give up. What advice would you give young female athletes coming up right now? OJ.
My advice would be related to building, like I said, and it could be just because of where I am, having a startup league and raising capital and doing those things. But what I would say is, if it doesn't exist, perform and act as though it will. And if it doesn't, you can build it. Because I think that there are so many girls and women who want to do things, but they say, oh, that doesn't exist yet, or that is not for me. And I think if a lot of us on this stage would have listened to that, we wouldn't be where we are. So my best advice would be, whatever you want to happen, just proceed as though you can make it happen and that it's possible through you and your connections and your relationships. Because I think if you would have told us, right, like, you all know who these people are. You might not know who I am, because I've been putting my head down, and we're going to have the biggest weekend in the history of women's sports right here at the Star in Frisco on June 24th. Thousands and
June
thousands.
24th, write
June
that
21st,
down.
sorry.
Right here
June
in-
21st.
Where is it in Frisco? Where is it now?
And at the Star in Frisco
Star in
Ford
Frisco.
Center.
Okay, we need everybody
June
to come out
21st.
there.
Everybody
Yes.
come out here. And that thing got built because ESPN, right? All those things got built because we wanted it to happen, not because there was a roadmap. So I think my best advice would be, no matter what, where you see today, if you don't see a WNBA, don't worry about it. If you don't see a women's professional league, don't worry about it. Just keep putting your head down and following your dream.
I love it. Follow your dreams. Love that. Love that. Follow
My
your
advice
dreams.
for young people would be, don't be afraid to ask, but then once you do, listen. I mean, I see it all the time where these former players or older broadcasters like myself will pour it into you. You know, people like to talk about themselves and what they do. And so when young people come, I mean, don't you just, like with the young soccer players like you're talking about, and when they ask you like a really serious kind of technical soccer question, you're just pouring it out, aren't you? I mean, shoveling more than they could possibly take. And so when I was young, it's not that I was meek, but I just wish I had taken advantage more and asked the veterans around me, because I would have saved myself a lot of time and frustration if I just would have stepped out of myself and had the courage to go and just ask them.
Just ask the
Because I would
question.
always
Yes.
listen. I just didn't have the courage to ask
Yes.
back then.
Ask the question. Love it. Love it. Amber.
I have 2 quick points. The first would be to not be afraid to not be the best player on your team. I think for me, growing up, I played with boys for a majority of my childhood, and then when I switched to girls, I was always playing up 1 or 2 or 3 age groups because I didn't want to be complacent. I didn't want to be the best player. I always wanted to be pushed. You don't get better if you're the best player. It's fun, but it's just not great for your growth mentality and reaching the heights that you want to. And second, I think watching the players that you want to be in the future, there's no better teacher to me than, whether it's live, coming to our games, or watching on TV. There's so much more accessibility. We're on Peacock every weekend. So I think watching the players that are emulating what you want to do in the future, there's no better way to learn, and I think it can inspire you too to keep pushing through those hard days.
Oh, I love that. Love that. Love that. Watch the players. So get that vision out there. I love it. And you don't have to be the best. Okay, advice, and then I'm going to open it up. I guess we have, 5 minutes for Q&A? Okay, and so get your questions ready. We're going to have 5 minutes. Nancy.
Okay, never stop working, wanting, or dreaming. That's on you. You have to own that, and you have to own your dream and your beliefs, but then you have to see it, say it, to be it. Okay, Oprah has her vision board, and I keep going back to you in that belief system. David and Goliath, everybody knows, right? Mm-hmm. There was never a day in my life that I didn't think I was David. Not one day. When there was no league, when there was no W in my prime for 17 years, it was okay for me to play every day against guys, NBA guys. I always knew that I loved this game so much that I was willing to go through whatever steps it took to get to the WNBA at 39 years old as a rookie, and at 50 and play, because I wanted my son, TJ, to know what his mommy did, not just as a broadcaster or a businesswoman, to know what she did, who the concentric circle of who she was. I'm a baller.
I love it. I love it. Let's give it up for the baller. I love that. Okay, so who has a question out there? Okay, raise your hand if you have a question. We need a few questions, because I'm coming out there to get you, because this is my moment to be Oprah. Okay, so, okay, wait.
Don't hurt yourself.
Girl, I got it like that. Okay.
A hamstring.
What's your name?
Trey Juan Briggs.
Trey, what's your question?
My question is, with the amount of access that we have right now in women's sports, how are we helping parents, coaches, administrators also understand the accessibility and the affordability for women's sports, particularly in youth?
Great question.
Well, let me just start with myself. Thank you. I've had my basketball camps here for 45 years. This is going on 45. We've had over 300,000 kids come through our programs, both boys and girls. And I'll tell you, trust me, every parent right now, the best day of my life, and I was divorced, is when we split the 529. Okay, you know what that is? Mm-hmm. That's like the Gerber thing you put money in for
Yes.
18 years. And Tim and I, we were like, I love you, I'm gonna have this money. Because TJ got a scholarship. We even hugged. I might have hugged his wife. Because I got half the, right? And I was right at the mall, okay? So it is so important that we, the parents, now know. We, the parents, now can turn on Peacock. We can watch, flag football. We can watch football. We can watch Christy every game that the Cowboys have, or what the Mavericks are doing, and allowing people like myself, or Dana, or Leslie McCaslin, to have all of us out there, just repping. And for the women in the W, there's I don't know, maybe it's your daughter. If she's really good at soccer, JoJo, she's gonna be a multimillionaire. It's the truth. I told Caitlin Clark and Angel this. You guys, you think I'm a pioneer? Don't look at my age. You're a pioneer too.
Exactly
There's a 5-year-old right now who in 20 years is going to be making, if they're good enough and dedicated enough, $10 million playing in the WNBA because of the work that you did, the work you've done, the work you've done.
That's right, laying that
we've
foundation
all done,
right
that
now.
you've done.
Laying that foundation.
I'm
Yes.
here with the Mavericks because you mentored me to get to this point. Everybody needs somebody.
Thank you.
So it's there. Just, you got to believe in these kids. You got to believe in the opportunity. It's a different day, and success is all in front of you if you want it.
It's right there. Any other thoughts on that? And then I'm going to take a question over here. Okay. Thoughts on that? Okay. All right. Question over here. Give us your name.
Savoy Grimes.
Hi, Savoy. How you
Hi,
doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Great. In your mentorship programs, how do you teach the girls, even the parents, like we said, the adults, to stay grounded, to not get caught up in the success, the money, the fame, even with being on social media? How do you teach them to stay grounded?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked this question, because I think that parents are doing more to keep their kids out of sports than they are in sports with some of this attitude and pressure. But I would say, I was on a panel with Billie Jean King, and she said one of the smartest things I ever heard from another GOAT. And she said, my parents never asked me if I won or lost. I came home and they said, did you have a good time? What did you learn? Did you get better? It was never about whether or not I won or lost. And so what we do is we say, let her play. Let her play. Get out of her way and let her play. Play being the operative word. They are still children. This is still a game. And the thing that your daughters are going to learn from flag football or soccer or basketball are going to help them more than become executives, more than they're going to help them become pro athletes. I mean, there's a reason that 80% of women who lead Fortune 1000 companies are athletes. So for us, what we do is we have a program called Keep Her in the Game, and it's all focused on what it takes to keep her playing, not winning.
I love that, and that's very similar to what, let's give it up for OJ. Very similar to the program we have at the Mavs that we started about 4 or 5 years ago, Girls Empowered by Mavericks, focusing in on the whole person to help keep them grounded, to help keep them stable, all of that, and not just about sports. So if you have a girl between the ages of 9 and 14, get them involved in gyms. Girls
May I
Empowered
add
by the
one more
Mavs.
thing on that?
Yes,
When
and
I
then
was
let me get my last question, and then let me identify my last question, okay? Is my last question out here? Okay, All right, I got my last one out here. Go,
Remember
Kristen.
when I was talking about the girls flag football and over in Fort Worth, the coaches were saying that over half of the girls participating had not participated in any other sport in high school, and many of them had never participated in middle school. So that's one of the reasons why we're really pushing girls flag, is because it's bringing girls back into sports that maybe hadn't even played since elementary school.
Love it.
Can I do one more? I just want to
Of
make sure
course.
that, because there's parents in here, and I don't want to miss this moment. Most girls drop out of sports by the age of 13.
That's right.
Due to low body confidence. So this is not just about sports. You see confident women in this room, and us not tugging on our shirts and us wearing what we want to wear and being who we want to be as confident women. We can start that process earlier if we keep our daughters in sports. So it's way bigger than how to school parents. Like, if she stays in sports, she is going to be a more confident woman, and that really is what this is about.
Exactly. Love it. Love it. Okay. Final question. What's your name?
My name is Elle.
Okay. Talk to us, Elle.
So my specific question is for Amber. You mentioned that as a women's professional soccer player, that one of your greatest assets is being approachable. Do you feel that you have a lot of external pressure to be approachable as a woman versus a male athlete? Additionally, could y'all expound on your least favorite or kind of double standards that we need to change in women's sports?
I think it's honestly not something I've ever thought of, because you know, I was a girl, I am a woman now, and it's kind of just, again, I think, talk about parenting. Shout out to my parents. I think they did a pretty good job of making sure that I always had a grateful attitude and, you know, was always trying to be a role model. I have 5 nieces and nephews now that, you know, they walk out with me during my games when we play back in North Carolina, and I'm just always thinking, you know, could I be the person that inspires them? So I think, again, you know, the accessibility part of that is we need to grow the crowd. We know we need butts in the seats so that we can get paid and our club can be successful. So I definitely think it's probably more on the forefront of our minds as female athletes. Kind of the cliche, what would I say? I just think it gets really frustrating to, you know, hear like, oh, well, you know, there's not as much money in women's sports, or you're not paid as much because there's not as much entertainment value. And you know, all these men's sports have decades of, you know, time that they've been around that we haven't. And I think, again, it's all about visibility and it's all about exposure. And I think these sponsors need to put, you know, their money where their mouth is a little bit. And, you know, if you invest in us the way that you've remotely invested in the men, I think you've seen just in the past 5 years how many women's sports have taken off with, you know, a very small percentage of the investment that many of these men's sports have had. So I think we're way more entertaining, especially women's soccer compared to men. We don't dive on the ground.
Yes.
And, you know, we're not getting in the refs' faces that much. Sometimes I get a little upset with them, but yeah, I just think, again, it's a little cliche to say, oh, well, you don't bring as much money and you're not profitable. Well, where have you invested the money?
Awesome. So thank you to our panelists. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for joining us. I want to wrap this up and leave you with something that I say all of the time, because it's so easy to get all frustrated about the challenges and all that, but good things are happening. And so I like to leave you with the phrase that I coined. Look at somebody and say, cry like a baby.
Cry like a baby.
Fight like a girl.
Fight like a girl.
Change the world like a woman.
Change the world.
Thank
like
you
a
for
woman.
joining us.
Y'all
Thank you,
clap it up
panelists.
one more time, everybody. Clap it up. St. Marshall. That was a powerful, powerful panel discussion, of course. Former CEO of the Dallas Mavericks. And also, everybody, can you please clap it up again for our panelists? And we need our panelists to please stay on stage. Give it up one more time. Nancy Lieberman, Odessa O.J. Jenkins, Christy Scales, Amber Brooks. Okay, once again, everybody, thank you again. By the way, you know, our city manager, she had to go. Kimberly Tolbert had to go. But our assistant, I want everybody to know right now, the assistant city manager is here to close out today's afternoon here. Please welcome Dev Rastogi.
I just want to say a few closing remarks. Thank you again to the incredible Cent Marshall. You know, she always leaves us with inspiring words. I could not leave this event more inspired by this wonderful panel. You know, keeping girls in the game, playing, not necessarily worrying about winning or losing, but just getting better every day. And, you know, we're here to celebrate Women's History Month. And I just want to thank everybody on behalf of Kim Tolbert for being here, leaving here a little bit better, inspiring each other. So go have a great day and be sure and spread some of the messages that you heard today. Thank you again for being here, and we'll see you at our next event. Thank you.
Thank you again, everybody. Enjoy the rest of Women's History Month. And make sure you're listening to Dee Dee in the morning on K104 from 5 to 10. All right. Had to get that plug in, y'all. Hi. By the way, can I just shout out to some good girlfriends that are here today? Shout out to Miss Community Diane Gibson, who is here, who supports